was a Trump campaign senior advisor until June of 2016. And that timing is important because he then left 2 months before Bannon then came on board. So important to get your thoughts tonight, Mr. Caputo, on what you have heard. Is what you have heard today true?
Well, I'll tell you, I really question anything Michael Wolff writes. I think this book will be dissected, and parts of it will go into the true bucket, parts will go into the false bucket, like anything that Wolff writes. But the president believes what was written about Steve Bannon. I think about what other people were quoted as saying in that book, and that's what matters here. I was really disheartened to hear about this. I stand with Donald Trump 150%. He has the right and the duty, in fact, to put together a White House that he trusts and a White House that he believes can implement his agenda. I believe he's entering into 2018 with that kind of team. But for those of us who view Donald Trump's agenda as something that we really want to push for this year, it's a difficult day.
Well, the president did not waste any time slamming right back, saying Bannon's lost his mind. It was a 4-paragraph takedown in just hours, by the way, after we saw this. And the president said Bannon had nothing to do with me or my presidency. Is that true?
Well, I'll tell you, I leave it to the president to define what brought him to where he is. I know that, when I was there up until the convention, or before the convention, Steve was still outside the campaign, so was Kellyanne Conway and some of the other folks who came in and took this to the end game in November. The president put together a team with Corey Lewandowski and the 5 musketeers that took him almost to the convention, and then brought in Manafort and Gates and others to make sure that the convention went his way, and he came away with the nomination. And Steve and Kellyanne and others helped the president all the way to Election Day. It's a pretty broad and diverse group. And I wasn't there to see what Steve did, but a lot, from what I consider from here forward, I don't really have concerns about the base. I don't have concerns about the agenda. The base is there for Donald Trump and for Donald Trump alone. I think Stephen Bannon knows that too. But I'd like to see allies working together, and both of these men think alike and are on the same page when it comes to policy.
Well, you were with the president during the primary, much of the general election. You were there for a big chunk of that time. Lastly tonight, Michael, I wanted to bring up all the speculation around Mitt Romney, possibly Senator Mitt Romney, and remind folks of a few things that Mitt Romney, some choice words that he had to say in the past about Donald Trump, and get your thoughts. Listen.
His domestic policies would lead to recession. His foreign policies would make America and the world less safe. He has neither the temperament nor the judgment to be president. Donald Trump is a phony, a fraud. His promises are as worthless as a degree from Trump University. He's playing the members of the American public for suckers. He gets a free ride to the White House, and all we get is a lousy hat.
Well, so I'll ask you, will he support President Trump's policies?
Well, we saw Donald Trump and Mitt Romney come together, in the transition phase, and I believe they've continued to speak. I'm not a fan of Mitt Romney, and the things he said about the president were deeply offensive to me. But if the president can get to compromise with Mitt Romney, he can compromise with pretty much anyone. I think Romney would be a reliable vote on fiscal conservative issues, and I hope the people of Utah know what they're doing.
Well, we'll see where that all goes, but there's a lot of indications and a lot of fingers pointing to the likely possibility that may happen. So, Michael Caputo, thanks for coming on tonight. Good to get your thoughts and perspective, sir.